Hello, beautiful people. How are you today? I got some interesting news to share with you, and possibly some of the most diabolical, heavily guarded CIA secret. Now, if you've been following my videos in the past, I've done videos with Laurel Aston, an ex-CIA operative. I've actually been contacted by a lot of targeted individuals that have been coming out of the woodwork and telling me a lot of things and telling me about their experiences. I'd just like to say thank you to those people. Thank you for your bravery. Together we're strong. So never think that you're alone in this. So people, I would like to break down the CIA's secret spy technology, which I believe the elite know about, and all of the occultists in Hollywood, etc., always covering their hand over their right eye, and always giving the Illuminati one eye signal. So I suspect they know about this technology that I'm about to explain to you, and actually what I'm doing to defeat it, because you can do it too. It's very difficult, by the way, because they're adjusting this nanotechnology to whatever I'm doing. At first it was working, and now they're adjusting it because they're figuring out exactly what I'm doing. Now, I'm in a what you call a goat house, where I have a handler. One of the things that is, I don't know, typical of CIA goat houses is the goat, which is me, because that's why it's a goat house. They typically separate, isolate, and detain. This is what they do. So what I mean by separate, isolate, and detain, I mean they isolate you with only Freemasons and other occultists around you, and then your main handler is the person or people that are consistently poisoning you. And what I mean by poisoning you is, specifically, I want to bring the attention to nano dust. Now, people may not really believe that this stuff is real. It's very real. If you look into nanotechnology, you can fit thousands of nanomites on the tip of a needle. This is how small they are. They're microscopic. You cannot see them, but you can breathe them in. The biggest nano research facility is in Berkeley. California was the first state to pass laws against nanotechnology, because nanotechnology is they're actually building biomechanical mechanisms to serve out a purpose. Now, what I want you to understand is the CIA and all of the Nazi doctors, and also some of the Russian underground doctors and Nazi/FBI psychologists, psychiatrists, they're the people that actually run the Illuminati. See, people don't understand it is the doctors, it is the sick, twisted, mad scientists that the government has given free range to do whatever the fuck you want to women and kids, and just not to be held to any kind of law. If you're in an underground base and the government is kidnapping kids for you and you're running experiments on them, and sexual experiments, I mean, just to get super soldiers and to keep control of them and to get super ultra mega MK ultra mind control victims, where you can call people on the phone and get them to do something that they wouldn't even remember. This is very old, people. So what I want you to understand is about the nanotechnology. They have invented or made nanomites, nano dust, that they can just open in your house, okay? and you walk in your house and it's all in your house, getting all in your nose. And what this thing does is it's programmed to build a somewhat of a microchip on your somewhere on your brain, on the part that omits the thoughts, and it reads your thoughts. And then it builds a optical relay on your right eye under well, actually, okay, I'm going to explain to you exactly where it is, because if you have one, you can tell. Okay? See, you push on your right eye, on the left corner, right between, on your upper eye, in between your nose and your eye, your eyelid. And you just tap it and see if there's fluid. And if you hear a little tap, tap, slushy stuff, that's the nanotechnology microchip relay system in your eye through your brain that's omitting this signal through microwaves, that's omitting this signal, your thoughts, and what you're seeing through your cell phone, because it can be used two ways, micro technology. So this is what the whole Illuminati one eye, and you see all these superstars and mind control victims covering the right eye. This is what they're signaling, people. This is what they're telling the world, and they're mind control victims, and the doctors know, the New World Order knows. They're actually proud of this. You know, this is their secret. This is their highest level of secrecy. Now, if you don't know about BrainGate, let me explain to you about BrainGate. You can go online and look it up. I'll post my BrainGate note under this video. BrainGate is an actual program that reads human thoughts, and it deciphers them, and it does a function based on what it's told to do. Now, if the government and any company is coming out with this technology, at least you can bet we have 20 to 50 years more advanced than what they're actually offering us. Okay? So the reason why I brought up BrainGate is because I want you to understand that this technology is admitting that they actually have technology that can actually read brain waves. Bottom line. It's called BrainGate. It can read your brain and decipher it. So what that should automatically tell you is if they have a way to differentiate your algorithms, your brain waves, because everybody's CAT scan, everybody's brain wave is different. So they have a way to catalog what's actually coming out of your brain, and that's thought. That's pure thought, people. So then, you know, you got to understand that every sound, okay, can be broken down into a mathematical formula. Every color can be broken down into a mathematical formula. So everything that you think has a biorhythm. That is a frequency. Every frequency can be broken down into a mathematical form. So then what they do is they get these frequencies and they break them down from mathematical form, and then with computers, supercomputers, like the computers like the Beast, like the NSA super quantum computers, you know, like all of their massive computers all over the world. Why do they have all of these massive supercomputers? What the fuck are they hiding? I can tell you they're cataloging our thoughts along with visuals. Everything can be cataloged with this nano dust that's programmed to build microscopic technology in specific parts of your brain and over your right eye, so they can look, and they don't have to hear what's going on. They can read your thoughts. So even before you speak, they know what you're going to say, because they know what you're thinking. This is the most diabolical form of mental rape an outright just violation of your privacy. And the reason why I know this is because I came back to the United States to finish things and to finish this shit and bring the truth out about what the fuck they did to my family. Now I have to deal with this fucking handler that is dosing me with this shit every night, every day when I'm not registering on their frequency. They can't see what I'm thinking. And what I mean by see what I'm thinking, well, they see what I see and they can see what I'm thinking. They're cataloging everything. They're doing this to everyone. Can you imagine how much storage space they actually need to do something like this? It is absolutely sick. Now, one of the things that I did do is I brought this to the attention of the Kremlin. And this morning I was talking to Laurel Aston and we talked about this. And hopefully we'll cover this in another video. And she said, Russia has got to know. And I said, well, you got to understand. Russia, the guys sitting at the Kremlin running the Facebook, whatever, they don't know. I can guarantee you they don't know this. And for the Russians that do know, it is the Russian doctors that are running experiments on Russian people that are backed by the CIA, because there are Russians in Russia that are backed by the CIA. There are Russians and Romanians in Romania that are backed by the CIA. This is the spy world. So for the low level like agents, they don't know this. And they're even doing this to them. And they don't know. And then you're wondering, how did this person know? Or where are the leaks coming from? Or this or this or this? I mean, let's paint a scenario. Putin, I guarantee you, didn't know this before I brought this to the attention of the Kremlin. I said, possibly Putin could have been dosed with this. Those 15,000 soldiers that you sent over to FEMA, they know all of their secrets, all that stuff, because they pull your thoughts and stuff and they program you when you're sleeping. See, the nanomites are programmed to start emitting a signal when you sleep, and you can notice it, but it's very faint. It's like a very faint, soft clicking. And see, I know how to shift into REM sleep and still be aware of what's going on. It's something that I train myself how to do. And this is how I catch them. They're actually trying to put things in my head or wipe things from my memory when I'm sleeping. So then I'll wake up and I'll have to go through the whole vigorous process of trying to remove this stuff out of my system. And then here comes my handler back, you know, and she doses me. When she comes in the house, she just opens a vase. Or in the middle of the night when I'm sleeping, she just opens a vase and there's dust all programmed for my brain algorithm, and they come directly to me and I breathe it in and my nose starts to tingle a little bit. And then I have like a stopped up nose. You know, it's always when she's in the house, you know, I get a stopped up nose. That's how I know she's, you know, she just dosed the air. So I told the Kremlin, I said, your soldiers working for FEMA, they're a security risk. Putin, if he met with Obama and his people and they dosed him with this, he wouldn't even know it. He would not know. Because it is so, you know, it's easy. And just say CIA makes a special camera where they can actually read a person's algorithm while they're, you know, pointing the camera at them, because they can do this, and then, you know, charge up the nanomites for that specific person's algorithm. They can be in another room and open an empty vase. It looks like there's nothing in it, and shoom, out those nanomites go right to that person. And then next thing you know, your thoughts and everything you're seeing is being broadcasted to the NSA, to the Illuminati, NWO, to the so-called slave owners. This shit is so diabolical, and I'm breaking it, and I'm hoping that, you know, Russia will help out me and Laurel Aston, because this is some serious shit. I haven't heard any videos talking exactly about this and what I'm explaining, because I'm personally going through it in a CIA goat house at 4315 High Point Lane in Houston, Texas, because of the fucked up shit that they've done to my family in the past. And I've tried to tell my friends, but hey, I've realized you really ain't got no friends, and most of the people that are put around you, they're fucking mind control victims, or they're part of it, the shit too. So, I got an underground fucking facility underneath me where what they do is they dose me with this shit, and then they have a microwave weapon under my house, and they wait till I sleep and they start blasting me with this microwave weapon. And this is how they wipe specific portions of your memory, and they use the nanotechnology to exactly zone in on parts of your memory. I mean, they literally jack into your brain and poke around. Only God knows what they do. I went to the police station, reported there's an underground facility possibly under these two streets behind me, next to me. There's an entrance probably at the two cop houses that live at the end of the street. There's entrances to the underground facility, probably the drug dealer's house behind me. You know? And the funny thing is, the cops, the day I made an interview with Laurel Aston, 3 cop cars come to my street 10 minutes before I start our first interview. A police helicopter flies over my house, is flying circles over my house for like 5 to 7 minutes. I'm sitting on my cell phone talking to Laurel Aston, and she's like, "Is that a helicopter?" I was like, "Yeah, it's flying circles around my house." So then I came home from mailing Laurel a package, which she should get today. I have the tracking number, CIA, so please don't send your handlers to try to fuck with it or to throw it away, because it's supposed to get to her on Wednesday, today. That's what the post office said, okay? So I was coming back from mailing her a package, and I went to a store right next door to the police station, local police station, and the lady that I reported this to, she was standing in the window in the police station. And then she comes over to the store where I'm at, and then she just stands there when I'm in the line, and she just looks at me, and she just smiles. So from what I gather is this underground facility is probably sanctioned by the CIA or NSA, probably off limits, whatever. That's what they do, people. They probably got prostitution going on down there. It might even be big enough to where they even have like a big, you know, weed facility where they're growing weed, or even growing cocaine. You can grow cocaine, people. If you can grow weed, you can grow cocaine. That's what people forget, you know? So no telling what's going on under my house, but they set up this house to destabilize me, to wipe my memory, to make me seem uncredible. So if anything happens, my little CIA, Nazi, little sellout Freemasons that work for the government, you know, will come out, "Oh, I didn't see anything. Oh, he's crazy. Oh, he does this. Oh, he's that." You know, this is what they're trained to do. This is what a goat house is. A goat house, a CIA goat house has a goat. That's me. That's their code name for me. Has a handler. That's my fake mother, because they killed my mother a long time ago. When I was 22, actually. And when they killed her, they threw me in a fucking hospital, dosed me up with drugs, I went from 255 pounds to 215 pounds in 2 weeks. And at the end of that 2 weeks, I get out of the hospital and there's this new woman in my life, and she's telling me, oh, I married Wilbur Jackson. A man she's known for 3 months. She just married him. And I'm like, what? And I start asking her questions, and she doesn't know any of the answers. And she's like, oh, that's not true. It's the medication talking, blah, 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 blah. This is what they do. They've been doing this shit since Stalin and Hitler, people. We brought the Nazis over to the United States. Well, I'm going to let you know that Romania, believe me, that's why they kept me in their country for 8 years without any visa, without any problems. Russia, believe me, because Russia knows. They deal with Nazis. They know. The French, when the Nazis took them over, they did the same shit to the French families. If they couldn't take them out, they were too high profile, they'd kill them and replace them, and then one by one off the whole family, and then next thing you know, that family's money belongs to the Nazis because they got fucking impersonators impersonating that family. So France, believe me. So I got 3 countries in Europe backing me and believing me. So I think it's time to come back to the United States now and finish this shit. So now I found out about BrainGate. I blew the lid off this to Russia, low-level security. Now I'm making this video about what's going on. So I'm telling you people, something's about to give, and some big things are about to happen, because these motherfuckers aren't going to take us to World War III and try to do the shit that they're already doing. I hope they find a bullet, every single one of them. And I hope this tells the FBI and the fucking police and Interpol and FSB and all the fucking low levels, you know, that do have a license to kill, what's going on? Hey, do you like the fact that they're listening to your thoughts and cataloging? Do you like the fact that they're watching you have sex with your girlfriend? And making videotapes of it through everything that you're seeing, and no telling about the quality. The quality is probably about as good as you see, people. Talk about real TV. And if you were to talk to any nanoscientist and anyone that knows about BrainGate, and to play them this video, and that knows about the Nazis, what do you think they're going to say about this video? How do you think I know, you know, the CIA calls what they have me in a goat house? Because they have Laurel Aston in a goat house too, and she has 2 handlers in that house, 2 young, low-level, stupid CIA ops. But you gotta understand, I make these videos to inform people, but most of all, I make these videos to inform the other secret rogue agents that I've met in my past, in the past 20 years, that have been with me and still with me. How do we stay on top of it? We stay on top of it like this. Because yes, I am that good. You can poison me every day with the stupid handler coming in, acting like my relatives. You've offed so many of my relatives because of my bloodline and my breedlove Lovejoy Ewing, dating from the original English royal bloodline. Then I'm a sovereign Nurabian Moor bloodline. R.I.P. to my grandfather that died last week. So that actually makes me actual royalty of America, people. See, what they don't want you to understand is America, yes, does have actual royalty living here. And this is what they do to us. They took me as a child and did sadistic experimentation on me. Sadistic experimentation on my family because of who my family is. Like I said, breedlove Lovejoy Ewing, also related to Lincoln. We have land in my family that was given to my great-great-grandfather, Big Daddy, by Lincoln because he was Lincoln's cousin. Navasota, Texas. The original place where Lincoln's bed was, Lincoln's cottage was, in Navasota Park, Lincoln Park, before the fucking Washington just came and scooped it up and took it to Washington and said, screw Lincoln Park. That was the original Lincoln Park in Navasota, Texas, which is an hour away from Houston, Texas. So to help you people understand, this is what they do to the actual royal bloodlines of the United States, because they do exist. The Nuwaubian Moors were the first people on this land. They date back to the Black Chinese, predating the Ming Dynasty, when Africa and China were connected. So for all of you racist hater Asians, understand your heritage. The Nuwaubian Moors have statues on Easter Island. They predate the Mayans. They were here before the Indians. You know, India via Indians. That's why they have the straight hair and, you know, the skin like the Indians. The original people of America are dark skinned because we were on this land when the continents were one. And then the Indians came and they started tribal wars over the land, and they could not defeat my tribe, my people, the Blackfoots, etc. So then the Europeans came and they teamed up with the Indians, and they don't talk about the real French and Indian War. Who are they warring against? They were warring against actually the Nuwaubian Moors, the Afro-Indians, because they were so pissed off about this to find Afro-Indians here in America, and that's just that. You got to understand how they've wiped away history, and it was the Indians who signed the treaties with the Europeans, not the Nuwaubian Moors. So on that note, people, spread the video. It's nice and short, giving you some history, talking about BrainGate, telling you what's really going down in the United States. So stay informed and stay blessed. And by the way, they just, did something to my computer because this video is just too explosive, I guess. Stay informed, stay blessed, Godspeed.